Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, and good afternoon, everyone. So everyone has different communication styles. Some are direct, some are analytical, some are supportive, and others are initiating. These are the 4 communication styles laid out on the Toastmasters website. Discovering our communication style can often be difficult, and this is because we often have to match our strengths with the people that we're communicating with. I think we can all relate to different experiences of where we have chosen the right or wrong communication style to emphasize our point of view. After taking the Toastmasters communication style quiz, I scored a 7 for direct communication and 4 for analytical, which wasn't a big surprise to me. But I'm going to quickly read the definitions offered by the Toastmasters website to help provide some light on the stories that I will share in this speech. So for direct, this style is decisive, competitive, independent, and confident. Because the person with direct communication style is focused, they are results-oriented, ambitious, goal-oriented, and driven. Others may perceive him or her as strong-willed or demanding, and they can be seen as impatient when bored. And then for the analytical definition, they say that this style is precise, exact, and logical. Because the person with the analytical communication style is systematic and task-oriented, they are sometimes perceived as a perfectionist. They're organized, self-reliant, purposeful, and diplomatic. So I see both of these communication styles, at least from my personal experience working in tandem, especially in my professional life. So I'd like to share a couple quick stories about how these communication styles of combining both a direct and analytical approach have worked well in conveying specific points of view. So back in 2016, I had the opportunity to participate in a semester abroad program in Morocco. There was a group of about 25 of us, all from the United States. And for better or for worse, excuse me, for better or for worse, I was a little bit older than the rest of the group. So many in the group would have what I would say is an idealistic sense of the world, where I tend to look at the world as more realistic and how it actually is. Anyways, we all got along great and went on many awesome trips and excursions together. But this was in 2016, so you guys remember what happened in 2016. It was an election year. So to be clear, I was not super happy with the candidates that were offered for that year, but nonetheless, I voted, and I unwittingly and mistakenly let the people in the group know who I voted for, and I was automatically ostracized because of my political party affiliation. Now, this alienated me from certain people in the group, especially. There was 2 Black females who I'd gotten along great with. We'd gone on many trips, gone out together, had an awesome time, and now all of a sudden, they blatantly ignored me. Their behavior could be seen as implacable. I got to the point where I had to employ direct and analytical communication style to talk to them as human beings. So analytically, I looked at the situation, said, all right, 1, where can I corner them to force them to talk to me? And then 2, what am I going to say that's direct enough, but also not intrusive? So I plainly laid out after class one day, there was an empty classroom. I said, hey, ladies, can we please go talk in this classroom? I plainly laid out that I voted for a specific party because people vote in self-interest. I believe my life and my family's life would be better under a certain administration, but also that I frankly wish there would have been a viable third-party alternative. I pointed out the hypocrisy that they were exhibiting and assuming that I could be both racist and sexist, which is what they call me, just because I voted. They ignored me as they went down the hallway previously, even when I just say good morning. So I pointed out these behaviors to them. The use of direct communication allowed me to explain myself and for us to come to terms on a human level. And then from that point on, we were great. We continued a positive relationship. So the Marine Corps also values clear and concise communication. So perhaps it's a good thing that my communication is both direct and analytical. But I've also come to learn that this is best how I receive information. So on my last deployment, my senior enlisted in my sniper platoon seemed off. He was giving me some attitude, but I couldn't really put my finger on it as to why. So I took some advice of a buddy, and I took my staff sergeant to a place private, said, my rank's off, please have at it. Tell me what your issues are. He proceeded to go off rather emotionally, and this is not an emotional man, about his thoughts on my professionalism and that I was too close to the Marines in the platoon. Specifically, he did not like that I went to dinner with them every night. So we came to an agreement that I'd only eat with the Marines twice a week, and when I'd go to meals with them, that he would join me. When we concluded, I told him my rank is back on. He'll never speak to me in that way again. And then for the rest of the deployment, we had a great relationship. So from this experience, I learned that I often receive feedback best in a direct manner. I do not like to have to hunt for subtle meanings but would rather be told what I need to know and then move on with that information. So in conclusion, direct and analytical communication is my style, but it's not always the best way to convey information. Perhaps the best example of this is in my relationship with my wife. For all of you guys who haven't learned this already, it's not the smartest thing to be direct always when communicating with your significant other. But for my professional career and personal learning, they seem to be the best ways for me to both convey and receive information. So if you've not done so already, I encourage you all to reflect on your communication style and then see the strengths and weaknesses that you can identify that will help you go on to achieve your personal and professional goals. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster. Thank you.